Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at AnonymousRealityT. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we are talking Love Island Games, Season 2, Episode 10, and what the welly, Beyonce. We've got another gift in a box episode, you guys. Here's the thing. Oh, I had to vote first. So if y'all haven't seen on my Tickety Talk, I posted my votes. So I had 4 votes available. And I voted Garbi and Marvin twice, and I voted Justine and Marvin twice. I had a total of 4 votes, so 2 votes went to Garbi, 2 votes went to Justine and Marvin, right? So nonetheless, the episode is, I don't know if they were trying to start this evil hate train on Garbi and set Garbi up for the okie doke, make her seem like she's the angry black woman, make her seem like she's the aggressor in the situation, make her seem like, you know, she deserves to be hated, she deserves to be piled on. But I wasn't feeling it, I wasn't featuring it, I wasn't interested in any of it. We had Lucinda still complaining to Isaiah. Instead of enjoying her new couple with Isaiah, she's over here still, Garbi doesn't like me. Garbi, I think she's obsessed with me. I think she has it out for me. I think she wants to get me. She wants me up out of this villa. She wants to harm me. And I was thinking to myself, what are you talking about? Over a game of spitting up vomit to each other and putting said spitting up vomit to each other in a fishbowl. Is this what we're really doing in 2025? Like, we got bigger fish to fry. And then Lucinda has a conversation with Kendall and is like, I think Garbi's out to get me. I think Garbi has it out for me. I think Garbi hates my guts. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what is going on? And here is Kendall, and this is why I did not want Kendall back. He is HELL bent on making the black woman in any situation look like they are the worst person ever, they're the meanest person ever. And I saw his tactics of trying to tell everybody the same foolishness in the villa instead of talking to Garbi herself. And I didn't like any of it. And poor Garbi, she asked to talk to Andrea. I guess Andrea is the new villa therapist. KK previously was the villa therapist, was the glue that everybody got along. All of a sudden, she's dumped and all these people hate each other. So nonetheless, Garbi has to talk to Andrea and explain to Andrea that it wasn't her intention to do this, to do that in the game. Here's the thing. Here's the bottom line, you guys. At this point, I don't even care if Garbi was doing this, intentional or not. Y'all are on a game show. Y'all are on a show like this, like The Challenge, like Survivor, like Big Brother, where you have to stab people in the back to get to the money, where you have to win challenges and different alliances and things are tested. But where I'm pissed off as far as, you know, this whole situation is Kendall and Lucinda tag team to milk this as a plot and a scheme against Garbi, and I'm not standing for that. So finally, after Kendall tells the whole villa, you know, that he thinks that, you know, he's going to take his quote-unquote best friend Lucinda's word over whatever Garbi says. And it's like, you can't even back your own couple. You throw her under the bus quick, fast, in a hurry like that. So by the time he talks to Garbi, he's already made up his mind that Lucinda's word is bond. And basically is like told Garbi, you know, well, are you jealous of her? Do you feel a certain type of way of how close I am to her? Well, if y'all are so close, Kendall, why aren't y'all coupled up together? Why aren't you and Lucinda in a couple? If you feel that way, because we know that's your role type anyways. We know that's who you really want at the end of the day. You thought hedging your bets to Garbi was going to look good for your image, was going to be good PR for you, and everything else, but you immediately showed your true colors the moment Lucinda turned on the tears and said, "Oh my gosh, it's Garbi. Garbi did this to me. Garbi, she hurt my feelings. She's angry. She targeted me." And it was disgusting to watch. So Garbi could not believe what she was hearing and simply walked away. But Kendall twisted that around and told the rest of the villa, well, Garbi walked away because she can't handle confrontation. She can't handle the conversation. No. You were gaslighting her. You were trying to manipulate the situation and make her say what you and Lucinda concocted together and make it seem that Garbi purposefully targeted her in a challenge to get her out or because she secretly hates her or whatever else. Here's the thing, Kendall. You and Garbi do not work well together as it pertains to these competitions. That's the real of it all. Y'all don't work together. Y'all don't communicate. Y'all didn't discuss y'all strategy of what couples y'all wanted to save, what couples y'all wanted to target. So now you're trying to cover your behind and suck up to Lucinda and Isaiah and make it seem like Garbi is out here on a solo mission to destroy the people that you're in alliances with. But clearly, you never included Garbi in these said alliances that you have with Josh, that you have with Isaiah. So I'm gonna need you to keep it a buck with your actual partner on what time it was. And so Garbi did not want to feature any of this foolishness and has ignored Kendall. So the next day, she talks to Justine about it and it's like, and she's vented to the girls multiple times and everything else. And Justine's like, listen, Kendall, needs to understand where you're coming from and all of this and all of that, because Garbi's whole thing is she feels blindsided. Eventually the next day, her and Kendall talk and he tries to apologize, but I didn't feel anything genuine in that apology. The apology basically was, I just want to apologize so we can move forward. It's not that I apologize. I understand where you're coming from. I hear your concerns. I hear how this looks. He was not listening to any of Garbi's concerns, and her concerns were, you're not listening to my side of the story. You immediately took Lucinda's side, you immediately talked to everyone else but me, and then you tried to play in my face and tried to convince me a lie that Lucinda is spreading is true and make me look like I'm the bad guy, I'm the villain, I want to take all these people out in this game. When ultimately it is a game. Eventually people are going to have to take each other out. But the narrative you're trying to just make it seem like I'm the martyr, it is not going to fly. You didn't listen to any of that. You just wanted to back your best friend. And it was disgusting to watch in real time. So that was that situation, right? So then we have the Tyrique and Justine situation. After he laid out his master plan to Toby on last night's episode, and then it was interesting because Tyrique and Justine, they have another chat, and he puts his arm around her, and Justine's confused because she was just like, you just told me no more shopping sprees, no more VIPs, no more dough, we can't even kick it, but now you got your arm around me? Like, what are we doing? So Tyrique's trying to be all sweet on Justine. However, the next day, he still don't make her breakfast. No. I don't have time for the shenanigans of it all. A lot of the couples were MIA this episode because I think this was all a setup for the humiliation that some of these islanders were about to experience, and I was not featuring it. I was not featuring it at all. Like, as far as the episode itself, it was entertaining, but I just didn't like how Garbi and Justine got played in this episode. I wasn't feeling it. So, nonetheless, Johnny also sets up Andrea, and he is trying to tell her, listen here, I'm feeling our connection, I'm physically attracted to you, but listen here, there's no, there's nothing that's meaningful, there's nothing deep between us, everything is superficial. But I wish Johnny would have just said, hey, I'm not really featuring or feeling too much how you've been performing in these challenges. Like, just tell her what it is. But now Andreina has internalized this because Brian has already called Andreina boring in season 7. And now you have Johnny. She's thinking she's doing all these things right. However, Johnny is telling everybody else but Andreina that there's nothing of substance between them. But my thing is, really the reality of it is, you were mad at her because she doesn't want to compete. And here's the thing, right? When Andreina and Nicola were having the conversation about they really could care less about the money, well, Andreina works for a top model company where she can pull as much money as she wants to for any photo shoot, for any runway, for any of these things. So I don't think money was her concern. I think she genuinely was coming on here for love and to redeem herself from her abrupt departure from season 7. However, I still stand by she should have been an OG for season 8. She should have been an OG for season 8 because Johnny is about to embarrass the bleep out of her, which he does with every woman, which is why I do not know why people hatch their bets on to Johnny. Johnny is here for the dough and the camera time and everything else, and people keep falling for his game every season. I don't get it. I don't get it at all, y'all. So then we get to the results of the Baby Bird Challenge. And again, it's giving a scheme that is set up by production. Because you say that Sydney and Toby won the challenge, right? And I already knew this was going to be some nonsense later. They won the challenge. They won Power Couple. But then out of 7 couples, you guys, I'm thinking they're going to announce, 2 or 3 couples, well, at least 3 couples, 3 or 4 couples that would be safe from the America vote. No. They said the only other safe couple was Johnny and Andreina. And I was like, I know you lost your mind. So really 5 couples have to be vulnerable tonight. This is about to go completely left. This is about to go completely haywire, right? So nonetheless, everybody is trying to, sort out what's going on. Johnny's already, he's already jumped ship. He's like, he's already working on his master plan, even though he's safe. He's working on his own separate plan, on how he's going to try to get out this couple, even though he's safe. Make it make sense. So nonetheless, you guys, we'll just fast forward to the evening, because this is where everything went down. The guys see 2 gift-in-a-boxes, right? And Tyrique had taken Justine to the speakeasy. I guess to talk sweet on her, flirt with her, whatever else. And the guys pull Justine and Tyrique out, right? To let them know, listen, we got 2 big gift boxes here. What's about to go down? So they sneak in. Gabby and Casey, again, they're from the UK. They just won All Stars and also just broke up, y'all. But this is Casey's 4th show. This is Gabby's 3rd show. Like, what are we doing, right? So they're hiding in these gift boxes, and then there are red carpets rolled out with red carpet, velvet gates and everything else for the Islanders to stand by, because clearly what they're going to try to do in this game is have these Islanders, whether, whatever the situation is, if they're interested in these bombshells, to stand in front of them, and the gift in the box eventually opens. So nonetheless, Ariana Madix comes in. I liked her look tonight. Like I said, I think she looks better with the darker hue of the hair, less blonde. I like that look. And she came in, and what she had was the men and the women separate. And I was like, oh, we might be doing favorite male and female Islander. They specifically want some people out of here. And I already see what the play is, right? So they have Sydney and Toby sit in the middle bench, and they also have Johnny and Andreina sit in the middle bench because they're the only safe couples. Everybody else is on, elimination watch. Everyone else is at risk from being dumped. Everyone else is vulnerable, right? So Ariana says the following. Y'all all got these postcards, right? One says, open the box. The other one says return to sender, right? So none of the less, again, where are the iPads, y'all? Where are the iPads? Just like we got to vote on devices for these islanders, why couldn't they do that? But nonetheless, they all had to take out, their dry erase markers and, select if they want to return to sender and stay in their couple, or if they want to open the box and potentially, couple up with a new bombshell. All of the girls, y'all, said return to sender except for Nicola. Nicola is the only one that wants out of her couple out of all of the women, y'all. And so none of the less, even Andrea, she also said that she wanted to return to sender. Also, Sydney said she wanted to return her to sender. Although she is acting so weird. She really thinks she's bigger than the program. She really thinks that she's giving iconic and giving all these moments. And it's giving embarrassing. It is giving absolutely embarrassing. And I don't know why she's doing all of this theatrics. Like, I'm so over it. I'm so over it. She's got to go. The men, it's now their turn, right? And so we're going through the line, and everybody pretty much, with the exception of Marvin, who is deciding, hey, you know what, I'm going to go to a bombshell. And I don't know why people are shocked about this. There's no romantic spark between Nicola and Marvin. The only reason Marvin would stay with Nicola is because he knows America is giving Sympathy Island to her. So therefore, he would stay with her, but ultimately, if this is going to come to a competition or whatever else, she may not be his best competition, depending on what that competition is. They may not win. So he's like, listen, I literally just got here in the villa. Let me hedge my bets on the new bombshell. So he's in line, right? So we go down the line, everybody else, even Kendall's like, well, me and Garbi, we had a bump in the road, but I'm still going to say return to sender. Isaiah and Lucinda, they're like, hey, we're happy where we're at. Return to sender, da-da-da-da-da. But then we get down to Tyrique. Tyrique, the menace. Tyrique, who is always trying to put on a show and trying to do all of this and all of that, right? Because Justine said return to sender. And her rationale was rationalizing, right? She said she's always going to be loyal to her couple. She was loyal to Josh and their couple, and he played in her face. She's now trying to be loyal to Tyrique and their couple, and he's about to play in her face. So Tyrique says, open the box, and gets his goofy self up in line behind Marvin to, wait in line for the bombshell. No. So Justine's like, this is noted. I'm Gucci. I see what Tyrique has done. I've been here. I've done that. I've been here where all these Love Island men have played right in my face. I am done, right? So then, you guys, they go to the safe couples. And like I already said, Sydney, she was giving this whole unnecessary speech, but ultimately she decided against, trying to see who these new bombshells were. Toby said, listen, we just want power couple together. Like, why would I risk that? And I already had to, be in an elimination situation before with a box. Last time it worked out good for me, even though we technically didn't utilize whatever the box said, but I'm not going to take my chances this go around. Then, you guys, we get down to Andrea and Johnny. And like I told y'all, Andrea said return to sender. However, Johnny on the spot was like, you know what? I've been voicing my concerns for a while with Andrea. How this is just superficial, how this is just a physical connection, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I need to win these competitions. I'm here for this 250 thou wow, right? And you're not going to get me there, Andrea, to the 250 thou wow. So I need to see what this new bombshell is talking about, and I need to give you up out of here, and I need to get up out this couple. So Johnny gets in line. And Andrea is pissed because she's like, I was willing to work on whatever our issues were. I was willing to work on whatever our problems were. Because she was saying early in the episode how she just will listen to whatever Johnny says. And that was already cringe. But she was like, in this moment, whatever our problems were, whatever our issues were, I was willing to work it out. But now I see it's bones. I see it's over with. So then she scooches over, y'all, and over to Toby and Sydney, and it was just, the whole thing was just awful. But it's like people warned her how Johnny is. And I don't know why anybody's trying to hatch their bets to Johnny. Johnny is going to do whatever it takes to win these shows. He knows where the cameras are. He knows where the camera time is. He is going to link up with whatever bombshell is going to give him the best chance to win. And that's it, and that's all. So then finally we get the reveal, you guys, of these bombshells. And the reaction to Casey was embarrassing, because on the girl side, Andrea looked terrified for her life. Like, is this what we're doing? Is this what you're calling a bombshell? No. And I already know in the back of my mind, y'all, that Casey and Kendall are going to be besties. And apparently Casey knows Kendall. What was there a big meetup at Coachella or something? How do all these UK Islanders all of a sudden know Kendall? Because Lucinda said that she knows Kendall, and I'm just confused. I'm very confused, right? So then we get to the reveal, of course, and the reaction to Garbi. And so Garbi, and everything else, when it's revealed that it's her, and people are confused about why is Ariana saying that they're exes, and then it had to be explained to some of the Islanders that they, used to date. They were just on All Stars. They just won All Stars, all this and all that. Lucinda's ecstatic because now she has some UK allies. And I see what the game is that they're trying to do. They're trying to beef up these UK Islanders to have an alliance against the USA people. I see what's about to go down, right? So then Kendall tells the guys, he was like, if Johnny and Garbi, couple up, they're basically going to win the show. They're not losing a competition. They're not losing a duel, because that's strength to strength. And so nonetheless, they asked Casey, well, since nobody else was available, but Nicola, you and Nicola are in a couple. So now Nicola is safe from potentially being vulnerable and being dumped from the villa, because now she is in this couple with Casey. So now we move it along to Garbi. Garbi has a choice, right? And she has a choice between Marvin, Tyrique, and Johnny. So she said, listen, look at here. I've been tuned into the show. I've been plugged in. I think fitness is already my job description. I already do the fitness thing. But if I'm going to look good and feel good, I want to be in a couple with a man that I think looks good. And I know for a fact we can win together too. So out of you three, I'm going to go with Johnny. I'm going to go with Johnny on the spot. So Johnny risked his safety for this new bombshell, you guys, and put Andrea's safety in jeopardy, because in doing this move, it automatically makes Andrea vulnerable. And Ariana was like, well, Andrea, you got to move from the safety bench, and you got to move now over to the vulnerable bench. Like, the whole thing was completely savage and insane, you guys. So then, you guys, after all of this, right, there's still more. There is still more after all of this chaos that has ensued, led by Johnny and Tyrique, right? After all of this, right, they're like, well, we still have a task for the couple that won the power couple, right? You still have something that you need to do. So instead of the first power couple, which was KK and Chris, where you had 4 couples that were safe, that you had to send another couple to be vulnerable, they just decided to just make everybody vulnerable, right? Except for 2 couples. So they bring up Toby and they bring up Sydney, right? And they're like, well, since Nicola has saved herself from America's vote, Johnny put himself at risk for America's vote by denouncing his safety to be in a new couple, so he's safe anyways. But now we need you to, we need to take these 5 Islanders apiece that are vulnerable right now, and we need to make it 4 men and 4 women that are going to be vulnerable instead. So what I need you to do is Toby, I need you to save a female islander, and Sydney, I need you to save a male islander. Now, Toby, if he would have saved a male islander, I think it would have been zero shock if he saved Tyrique. That's his bestie, right? That's his bestie. They grew up together the whole night. So Toby gives this long drawn out speech, but the moment that he said that I've known this girl for years, I knew he was picking Lucinda. And I'm thinking to myself, is this like a UK versus USA revolt that's happening this season? Because what the welly on say? But then from a strategic standpoint, just besides the friendships, he knows that Lucinda, from a competitive standpoint, it's not like going up against an Andrea. It's not like going up against a Garbi. It's not like going up against a Justine. So he's thinking to himself, let me save Lucinda. But I actually felt that Andrea was more in danger. But he decides to save Lucinda. After all of that smear campaign that was led by Kendall and Lucinda, he decides to save Lucinda because that's his UK friend. That is his UK friend. No. So then, you guys, we get on to Sydney's decision, right? And I'm thinking to myself, maybe she'll save a US dude. She'll save me. I never thought for a second that she was ever going to save Isaiah. But she's crying and doing all this carrying on like an actress. I'm thinking, okay, maybe she might save Josh, right? Maybe she might save Josh and, and everything else. Maybe she might even save Kendall, or maybe she'll even save Marvin because her and Marvin came in together as bombshells. He's at risk for elimination. His couple with Nicola just got taken away. Logic, things that can make sense, right? And you know what she says, y'all? After all of the chaos that has ensued that Johnny and Tyrique have just caused at this whole gift in a box situation, she says, you know what, looky here, I'm going to save Tyrique. And I'm like, what? What the welly? I'm saying, you know what, that's fine. You save Tyrique all you want to, but America is going to save Justine. And it's just like, what was the thought process? And it's giving Sydney, and this was her problem on her season 2. She was a pick-me. And she put up with all of Isaiah's foolishness, including sleeping with somebody in the hideaway, just to be with this man. Like just foolishness. He already played you on the show. You didn't think he was going to play you outside of the show either? Like, make it make sense. But she saves Tyrique, who has been open about his plan to destroy and destruct Justine. And Toby's facial reactions were just killing me the entire time as Tyrique was unfolding this plan to, go to the new bombshell. But what was funny about this is that per Tyrique's own reviews and recaps of the show, he didn't even like Gabby or Casey. So I thought it served him right. He got up there, made a fool of himself, thinking the bombshell was going to choose him over Johnny, and he played himself. But still got saved, you guys. Still got saved from America's vote. And it was giving Tyrique must be locked in at least until the final or finale or right before the finale to provide mass chaos. But him and Justine are bones. I'm gonna need Justine, if she survives this, to be in a couple with Marvin. Her and Marvin maybe can get together and figure out something. And I need Kendall dumped. The objective is, out of this crew, out of the men, I really need Kendall dumped. I'm concerned on the female side of things. I feel like the vote, it seems people are split between Justine and Garbi, and I feel like that's a huge concern. I feel like there's a huge enough fan base for the Andrea and Josh shippers that they're going to save, them. I'm not worried about Andrea. She'll be fine. But I feel like one of Justine or Garbi is going to be a casualty, or Andrea will be the casualty. And I hate that. but it gives, with how production is putting in certain bombshells, that they want to front load with certain islanders. KK was the first sacrifice, and specifically having Andrea, Garbi, and Justine at the bottom is a choice. Because it's giving, we want certain women out of here. It's giving, we don't want Justine to win again. It's giving, we want Garbi to be set up for the mean girl because it already worked, for KK. So now let's move on to make Garbi look like the bad guy in the Lucinda situation. And Justine, we really don't want her to win a second time, but we need her for the drama and for the views because she has a large fan base. No. So those are the factors that I'm looking at, and I'm just very concerned for all of Justine, Garbi, and Andrea, and I'm just hoping America pulls through, but I just don't trust it. So nonetheless, that's all that I have. The one thing I will say is for Justine and Garbi, I feel that their benefit is they're great competitors. I just think Garbi needs a different partner than Kendall because they don't communicate well, and she doesn't handle pressure well in dealing with somebody like him. She needs a different partner. Andrea, I'm concerned that these bombshells are not going to choose her because they're going to be concerned about winning this shmoney, and they're going to feel she's not that good of a competitor to make that risk worth it. So, nonetheless, we will not know the results of America's Vote until Sunday, but this episode was crazy. Like I said, it was entertaining, but I also felt a way about how Justine and how Garbi were treated and how Andrea was treated, at the end, to where everything just kind of blew up in her face like that. Like, that was crazy. But there's that. That's it. That's all. That's all. Todos. That's final. That's finito for this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.